Hello, hello, Saggy Joe. So I have some good news. Other than being officially diagnosed with ADHD, I am going back to college for nursing. Yes, I am a Filipino. In case you are stereotyping, and if you are, you are 100% correct. And it's a post-secondary education. So I found out that Seneca and Centennial have pretty flexible programs when it comes to the nursing program. And in order to do so, I found out all you had to do, well, I mean, I'm thinking it a lot more simple than it actually is you just go to OCAS or OntarioColleges.ca. You apply through there if you're a postgraduate. And they, for some reason, still look at your high school grades. So I had to pay $22 to my old high school just so the college can, man, I feel like I'm getting ripped off, man. And then I had to pay $36 because I applied for two programs, so they had two requests for my goddamn transcript from the University of Toronto. But yeah, it's definitely different. I've always wanted to do a Doctors Without Borders mission. It's always been one of the things that I've always wanted to do in just my life. I want to do at least one, and see where it goes from there. Sooner rather than later, because I have a partial tear at my shoulder, so I really don't know how far I can go with my how bad my damaged body is. But I talked to my tito, and he said that he when he first started out, of course, you're gonna be in the overnight shifts, you're gonna be in the evening shifts, the shifts that no one likes, which fair enough. I mean, honestly, I don't think that differs from retail a lot of time. So it's not something that I'm not accustomed to, but eventually your body wants consistency. That is a really big thing. So, having a proper security and rhythm is very, very important. So it's just something that I have to consider. There's of course going to be drawbacks, and my family being the typical Filipinos they are, they're always like, "Oh, you're gonna make good money," and it kind of frustrates me because money is definitely a motivating factor. But I'm not gonna be doing this because I want money. I want to do this because I want to make a real difference in the world, and if that means helping one person, that's all. That's all I need. Um, I didn't go back to school because I was very unhealthy. My back hurt. Um, I was obese. I mean, technically, I'm so obese. I just got diagnosed with severe sleep apnea, one of the worst cases that my doctor's ever seen. Um, it was the pandemic, and I basically have a non-existent relationship with my family. I mean, still struggle with that, but hopefully over time I'm able to really focus on what I want to do with that. It's nice. It's nice just to have a pathway because goddamn the store that I'm in, you could actually get a good one season out of the bullshit that happens in my store. You got a lot of interesting side characters with a lot of interesting backstories. You have you have the typical management and the management issues that come with that. A lot of high school drama. Jesus, I think I could write one season of work in the retail store just based on my 2 months working as an assistant manager in the store that I work at. So it's very fun, but that's not why we're. I think I got a little sidetracked over there. So let's just go back to the nursing program. So I do wanna do a Doctors Without Borders mission at least once, and going back to am I doing this for money? I mean, yeah, I like to. I am not beyond being subject to monetary motivation, but it's not the only reason. Um, Nurses are often very unappreciated, and from my experience, I've had some pretty cold and I would say apathetic nurses. When someone goes to the hospital with obviously an injury, it would be nice if you could receive a little bit more compassion. In a lot of people's condition. Now I know that you kind of get burnt out. You kind of get sick of it. I know that that's a possibility. That's an issue that exists, but it's it sucks because it's kind of daunting because one good nurse, one good nurse experience can make or break honestly how people feel about the healthcare that they're receiving. You know what I mean? And I know that nurses get burnt out really fast. They get compassion burnout because it's hard. It's hard to deal with grieving families that will blame you. It's hard to deal with. You gotta service everyone. People who harass people, criminals, people who are assholes, where everything they do is somehow not illegal, just like socially frowned upon. And you kind of think to yourself, well, if it's socially frowned upon, there should be some kind of discipline or punishment that comes with this. But apparently, it's not worth it. It's perfectly legal to be an asshole, even though everyone hates it, and they wish something could be done. um, but yeah, I think I want to be the one positive nurse for those people out there who had to experience what I went through, and just a general apathy to my issues. I have sacroiliitis. When I first got it, it was so bad. I couldn't get off my bed. I couldn't go take. I even failed a couple classes because I couldn't even go to some of the exams. It was that painful. And then a lot of people were like, "Well, do you have a doctor's note?" I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna go to the doctor because my back fucking hurts." You know what I mean? And then you miss out on the deadline, and then you just fail the course. That's my academic career in a nutshell. So hopefully, with my ADHD medication that I'm getting, I can focus a little bit more and really hunker down and do nursing and do well in it. Yeah, my tito is kind of like a role model for me. When he came into work, he was always happy. Um, Very competent, of course. You can't have an incompetent nurse. And he did medical imaging, but everyone that came in that did their medical imaging was always so happy when he was helping them out. You do have what you call repeat customers. I'm a repeat customer. Finally taking my health seriously now. Finally telling my doctor everything because I'm realizing that it's really obvious. But if you don't tell your doctor everything, there's nothing they're gonna help you with. They will only help you when you share. And there's a stigma, especially if you're a male. You got to be quiet. Just bite your tongue and move on, and truck on, as they say. No pain, no gain. But I started to realize, why do I always always want to live in pain? You know, and that's when I started telling my doctor everything. And now I have solutions. And now my life can be worth living. Not It's not a life where I just wake up because I exist. I finally see a path forward where my life can actually be something I enjoy. And I haven't had that in a while. But easier said than done. I got a lot of mountains to climb before I reach the peak, and I might have another mountain to climb after that. You never know. Uh, you never know what the future holds. I could go to the NBA 2 years. No, that's not happening. But let's just say, or I could be conscripted to fight in Ukraine. You know. So um, I hope that this motivates you, a lot of you, to, especially if you're men, to really take advantage of your mental health and your physical health as well. We're not robots. We're only humans. When we get hurt, we cry. And I wish when I was young, I had people who looked at my tears and took them seriously instead of told me to stop whining like a little bitch. But yeah, you know what? I will resent that forever, but I gotta move forward. And I hope one day when I look back, I can look past all the negative feelings and just see everything as it is. Story of my life. All right, later days.